Hola. I think I have the music too loud. There we go. Hey y'all. Sorry I'm a little bit later than usual. I was supposed to start 5 minutes ago instead of 8:30 tonight. But it has been a busy weekend. I had to film for 2 different bands this weekend, which was really fun. A band called Tatara, who they're youngins, but they're like the most insanely good heavy metal band in Edmonton. Hey Sandy, happy Sunday to you too. And then yesterday I got to film a band called Tallboy. And it was my first time seeing them, and they were incredible. And they were so kind to me, and I don't know. I'm still processing how, like, awesome that night was. And a lot of my friends were there, too, so it was just nice to, like, be there. And they kind of did 2 shows in one night, and I only had to film the first, which was on the main stage of the venue, and then the venue downstairs, they did, like, a cover set. So this is, like, the first time I got to, like, film and also enjoy them and not have to think about filming them all in one night. So it was cool. But welcome one and all to the General Hospital Nurses Ball 2025 after show. I am your host, Dion Gabriel, and we're talking about all the performances, all the dramas, the good, the bad, and the ugly today. It's gonna be a bit more of a fun live stream, I think, because it's not as, like, I don't know, I don't have like a full-on script like I usually do. Talking to a big rock star. I mean, it wasn't my shows. I was just filming other bands. That, I'll get back to performing probably in the fall is what I'm aiming for. And if my voice sounds a little hoarse, it's because I was recording music that will be at, the first shows that I do in the fall. But yeah, there's the Nurses Ball, just to get it out of the way. My overall thoughts, anyway. In all honesty, I thought the Nurses Ball was a mess. Now, in terms of the ball itself. I should be in the next Nurses Ball. That'd be crazy. But yeah, like, I'm not talking about the drama. Like, I'm talking about, like, the Nurses Ball as a ball, Like, it was a hot mess, okay? It kind of felt like it was a rushed job this year. I don't know why. Like, it's like they thought that they would just do this at the last minute, just to have, like, somewhere where the drama that unfolded could take place, instead of, like, focusing on, like, how good the performances could have been. I don't know. It just felt like most of it was super unrehearsed and just messy. Like, I did not enjoy it. And I don't know. And I'm disappointed. And the way that they overlooked the 2 actual professional singers that are on the cast for the Nurses Ball, they had Wally Kurth in the audience. They couldn't bother putting him in the ball. They didn't even show Jonathan Jackson. Like, what? I'm in disbelief that they have Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, for the first time in, like, since the 90s, available for the Nurses Ball, and he didn't do it. And I don't know if it was just the availability of the actor, but they should have made it work. They should have made it work. Oh, Sandy, the kids were the only part you enjoyed. Oh, I gotta tell y'all my rankings, but before I do, I just to kind of get out the rest of my sort of overall thoughts. Even in terms of, like, the editing, some of the performances were just poorly edited. Like, the opening number you could see the crowd was clapping and wooing. You couldn't hear them clapping or wooing. Like, it was just like they put the track and forgot to put the sound effects. Like, it was just a mess. It was a mess. And you could tell the set's like a little bit smaller than it was in the previous years, which is crazy. Jonathan Jackson is touring with his band, but he could have made it work. They could have done it in advance. Lord. But yeah, I don't know. And some of the performances were just kind of boring for me, to be honest. But I don't know. And then also, like, not, hey Allison, also hey Kaiwan, sorry I forgot to say hi to you. Just in terms of like other missed opportunities, they had the perfect opportunity to recreate the sort of red carpet shadiness with Lucas and Elizabeth, and instead we get them at the end of the ball for like all of 2 minutes just throwing shade at how bad the kids were gonna sound, which honestly, not gonna lie, in my ranking, the kids' performances is like number, like, whatever, I don't know, it's the worst on my list. The kids' performances was the worst on my list, and I feel so bad, bless them. But like, here, let me just hear me out, okay? Because yes, the kids are adorable. God bless them, they are adorable, okay? But they are kids. I would much rather hear their natural god-awful voices than the insane amount of auto-tune that they used for this. It was awful. Like, especially for Wiley, because, you know, it would have been actually funny if they just had him be bad. Because you could tell, like, that's how the kid was playing it. Like, I feel like the actor that plays Wiley was playing it as, like, yeah, he's awful. And, I don't know, it just would have been funny if they just had them all be bad. The kids really tried their best to lip sync. Yeah, like, honestly, I don't know. Like I said, it would have just been cute if they just sang poorly instead of trying to auto-tune the crap out of their voices. Who cares if they don't sound good? They're not supposed to. They're kids. Don't auto-tune the shit out of them. It just made it look ridiculous. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm just, my mind is boggled. It's boggled. And, oh, and also, I think I forgot to say hi to you too, Allison, and Angel. Sandy, you said, I love Lucas and Liz's relationship. Yeah, I like their friendship. It feels like it's kind of random. Like, I don't remember them being close before, but I don't hate it. I like it. I like their friendship. I don't know. It would have been cool if they showed them, like, throwing shade from the time that the ball started to the end of it. Like how they did with Brad and Britt back in the day. But they missed that. Why did they only give them like 30 seconds to do it? Alessandro said Lucas and Liz could have both been at the ball. Yeah. I don't know. I'm confused as to why Lucas wasn't, but it is what it is. Where was Charlotte while her mother was blowing up people's lives? Yeah, where has Charlotte been this whole time? Like, they brought her back to live with Lulu, and we've not seen her ever since. So, I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, like I said, let the kids be kids, okay? Like, I hate that I'm putting them as my least favorite performance of the night. But the auto-tuning, it was just so brutally bad that the kids sounding like trash would have been a better alternative. Because they're kids, and they're allowed to sound like trash. That's what makes it cute, okay? Like, good lord. Obviously, the sort of point of the kids performing at the end of the ball was so that Michael and Wiley could reunite, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Obviously, that's, you know, what it was for. I love that they acted like they always end with the kids, and, like, that's not the case. Kaiwan, you said, I'm really liking the fact that they did write that Lucas still misses that Wiley is not his son. Yeah, I like that too. I like that they still have Lucas talking about that because, you know, it's a big moment in his life, and while Lucas originally just kind of disappeared off screen and they just kind of let him go quietly, it's nice to still see that he's still hurting from it because it's a messed up thing what happened to him, you know? Best part of the night was Wiley saying bye, mommy. Well, I mean, I feel like that happened in the preview, right? Like in the preview for like that they showed online, because all we seen was Michael and Wiley hugging, and then him just saying let's go home, and them not even looking back at the crowd, and Wiley not even saying anything. But they did show a little sneak peek online of Wiley and Michael in the I guess in the foyer of the ballroom, and you know, him lifting him up and then saying bye, mommy. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. We'll finish the rankings of the performances, and then we'll kind of get into the drama part. My second least favorite performance of the night was the nurses, unfortunately. I just get bitter at how we have so very little nurses on the show that they had to put a doctor in there and a bunch of extra nobodies that nobody knows because the stage wouldn't fill if it was just like Willow and Deanna and Amy. And like, yeah, Elizabeth was not there, but we know that she wouldn't be performing on the stage anyway because she doesn't want to perform. And I've stated this multiple times over the years, but in my opinion, I think that if GH wants their actors to be in numbers, the actors shouldn't get a say on whether they should or not because they're paid to do what's on the script. Like it or not, if the show wanted them to perform, they wouldn't have a say. And I feel like that's how it should be. Because it doesn't make sense that every year Elizabeth is sitting in the audience while the rest of the nurses are performing on the stage. And yeah, she had like a built-in reason to not be there this time. But like, I'm just saying in general, she should be up there with the nurses. She is the only nurse that we see more than Willow. And Deanna and Amy, we're lucky to see them twice a year. So it's like, I don't know. My third in the ranking, third least favorite, is Spinelli, Anna, Felicia, and Lucy. These boots are made for walking. First of all, I think Bradford Anderson sounded amazing. He always does. He technically, would I call him a professional singer? He seems trained. He seems professionally trained. He's a great singer. And so he sounded fantastic. I'm almost convinced he sang that live, honestly. Like, it felt live on his end. But I don't know for sure. But yeah. And, you know, Finola Hughes is clearly the professional dancer in the group. But not even that could save how cringe it was. Like, it was just the poor dancing from Felicia and Lucy and Anna just, you know, trying to make it work. And, you know, Spinelli was a surprise. Unfortunate that Maxie wasn't there. I guess she wasn't available either, but I don't know. We didn't see Spinelli in the audience watching Georgie and James. Like, what? I don't know. Like, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to me, but whatever. And I'm also bitter that, like, that should have been Tracy up there instead of Spinelli. Okay? If they hadn't arrested her when Drew framed her, like, I mean, I know they obviously didn't plan for, you know, Tracy to perform. Jane Elliott obviously wasn't going to perform. I'm mad about it. It was too good to be true. I was so excited. But alas. What are you guys saying? Guy that plays Spinelli was a theater actor for a lot of years. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Makes sense. Now you missing Magic Milo too? I mean, yeah, hot guys that are shirtless and in their undies. But I don't know. I didn't miss it that much. I mean, it would have been better than half the performances in all fairness, but like, I would have settled for just like better rehearsed performances. But yeah, and then so I guess now we're kind of going towards, you know, the top four. So of my rankings. So Gio's next on my list. God bless Giovanni, who plays him. I have seen multiple performances of this guy playing at halftime shows and stuff, and he's incredible. But they couldn't have given him a more boring song to perform. Like, he did great on it, but what a boring song, and I'm sorry if it's, like, an original of his, but, like, it would have been cooler to see him do what, like, he's known for in sort of the spotlight away from GH, and that's, like, doing these covers of, like, really popular songs and dancing and playing them quite well with his violin. And we had this, like, unknown piece of music, and like, you know, if they could afford Holiday by Madonna, I would have rather see Gio performing Holiday by Madonna with the violin than this sort of boring generic song that he played. It was a good hip hop mix. Yeah, but that wasn't good hip hop. Like, listen, you know, as a Lindsey Sterling fan who watches her kind of do her thing with her type of music, and I've seen other violinists play against hip hop, and that just was not anything that wowed me. And Giovanni wows me. Like I said, I'm a fan of him. He does incredible performances at halftime shows. But that was just like, I don't know. I was just underwhelmed. Glow was his own original song. I feel so bad, but like it. You know, I had a feeling it was his original song, but like, I don't know. It just would have livened up the ball if he just performed something that someone knew. Anyway, sorry, Giovanni. All right, so top 3 now. My next favorite is Chase, Dante, Isaiah, and Cody. The Look of Love. I have to admit, I'm not like a huge fan of like whenever Josh Swickard sings, but his vocals actually impressed me this time. So I have to give him props. And all the guys looked good. They were still, you know, they were all very handsome, but they were just as awkward as handsome and very unrehearsed looking. So that sort of like puts a damper on it a little bit. But, you know, Chase does seem to be improving vocally, which is fantastic. And so the runner-up for my ranking is Joss and Trina. They sang a song called I'll Be With You. I was surprised that I liked it so much because, like, you know, as cool as, like, their last performance was, it didn't really fit their voices that much, but this song really fit their voices. It really worked well. They sang the ballad beautifully. They looked fantastic. I enjoyed it. So that's just my 2 cents on that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess technically speaking, they're like my favorite performance from the cast. And then obviously the number 1 performance is Edie, and she's a professional singer. I'm not like super familiar with her. I'm aware of her. But yeah, it was good, and I'm not surprised because this is what she does for a living. So I don't know. Yeah, I had to give it to Edie for the top performer of the night. But yeah, there was just a lot of missed opportunities in terms of the performances, and I was just really upset by it. You know, we could have had Lucky, we could have had Ned, we could have had better rehearsed numbers. Like I said, it felt like it was a rush job this year to like give the drama that was to unfold a setting to happen in. So like, I don't know. I was very underwhelmed by the performances, which is unfortunate. But the drama, however, was great. I liked the drama. We can talk about the red carpet drama first, just because, you know, it's the beginning of the ball. I love that Nina and Drew had to work together and just had to figure out a way to tolerate each other, and just the sort of back and forth of that. And also, since everyone in town pretty much hates, especially Drew, it was just funny seeing how each of the people on the red carpet kind of had to deal with him. Obviously, one of my favorites was the back and forth with Carly. He's obviously trying to goad her into reacting, and she was not giving into it, which, not surprising. Good for Carly. She does know better. Jocelyn, on the other hand, did not give a shit. She was like, just ripping him to shreds and smiling at the camera while ripping him to shreds. And I feel like Nina was kind of loving it, but like having to keep her mouth shut. But yeah, I don't know. That was funny. That was funny to me. But yeah, and just in general, like Drew and Nina were just hilarious to watch on the red carpet, and just, trying to kind of throw themselves in the spotlight over each other a little bit. It was funny. I liked it. Of course, we had some like sort of interviewer guest appearances as well, and which is like normal. I mean, to me, like it's always just a little weird that we have a red carpet for the ball in the first place, and they act like all the people going down it are like these huge celebrities when they're just like people. But I don't know. They all looked fantastic though. All the dresses and the suits, they were great. Angel said the Kendrick Lamar song that Gio did at the basketball game was good. Yeah, like he knows. You know what I mean? Like they could have used hip hop and violin and just used a song that we knew, and it would have just made it a little less boring. But I guess I get it. Like it's his own song. And I feel bad that I don't like his own song, but like, he's young. He's just fresh in the game. So, he'll build and kind of make probably better quality as time goes on as well. Sandy said Drew was, as usual, bullying, threatening, or blackmailing everyone he talked to. This is true. Allison, you said, yeah, the red carpet is kind of lame. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, speaking of red carpet drama and Drew bullying, like, I did not love Tracy getting framed and arrested. That was not fun to watch. Of course, y'all already know I'm bitter because she didn't perform in the end. But that's likely because Jane Elliott probably didn't actually want to perform. So, again, I don't think the actors should have a say. Just my 2 cents. But I did love that Tracy drove Mac crazy, and that Jason came to bail her out, but couldn't drive her home. And Mac was like, "Oh, you're in luck. The number 8 bus stops right in front of here." So just thinking about Tracy taking like public transportation is hilarious. And then of course, the one of the biggest dramas of the night is the Gio reveal. I think it's safe to say we all knew the truth was going to come out there. I am a little bit surprised at how it came out. I didn't think that Lulu would confront Lois like that. I thought she'd more so confront Brooklyn and then she'd be confused. But no, Lulu confronted Lois and got her to admit the truth. And unfortunately, Gio overheard them speaking in the dressing room and was in shock. And, the actor did great. He looked like he was about to just go fully unhinged. I don't know if he meant to play it that way, but it looked cool. And he was, when he was just sitting outside in the restaurant area trying to process, and Emma's just trying to figure out what's going on with him. Great job. And then, going on stage, he had to go on stage with Anna and Chase, a number that didn't really happen, which is why it's not really in my ranking. Just like stopping mid-performance to dedicate the performance to his parents, and then saying Dante Falconeri and Brooklyn Quartermain, and just lowering the boom on everyone in the audience, and everyone being like, "What the hell?" And then smashing his violin to bits and pieces. It was crazy, and it was quite the moment at the Nurses Ball. Like I said, the drama part was great. And how things played out. It was great. Sandy says Lulu was screaming so loud. Mm-hmm. She was. Hi. But yeah, but on a kind of random note, like I'm a little bit sad that they didn't just kind of that they did rather kind of usher Brooklyn and Dante out, and then we just didn't see them for the rest of the episode. Obviously Cody talked to Dante for a little bit to sort of give him the rundown, but Brooklyn, she just kind of left. And obviously Lulu, she kind of just lurked in the shadows because she knows she did messed up. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing sort of the fallout with Dante, like Dante confronting Brooklyn and Lois. Brooklyn confronting Lois first of all, and then Dante confronting the both of them. But yeah, I guess like this whole storyline, I haven't really thought about Ned in this, but like how messed up that like Brooklyn and Lois did not tell him, and I get why they didn't, but just like how that's going to affect Ned, like that's like he must feel such betrayal that like he feels like his daughter didn't trust him enough with such a big thing, and that Lois kept it a secret from him as well. And I don't know. It's I just feel bad for the guy. And of course Olivia, Olivia and Sonny, they have a grandchild that they didn't know about, and Lois, who is close to both of them, clearly knew and kept the secret. And Sonny kind of got wind that Lois knew because she, just before the reveal happened, was trying to be like, I did something really bad, and like trying to talk to him, and they didn't get a chance to. Not that it would have made it any better in this situation, but yeah, it's obviously going to have big ramifications. I'm thinking that we're probably not going to see Lois for much longer because I don't see her being able to live in that house after what happened. And I think the actress wants to semi-retire, so we're bound to not see her that much after this, I'm thinking. Hey, Jakarius. Good to see you. But yeah, also, drama that didn't really happen at the nurses' ball, but happened this week, was that Alexis finally told Christina that she knew what she did. And God, I'm so relieved, because it has been so frustrating seeing like Christina just be all high and mighty. I'm glad you're back watching GH again, Jakarius. But yeah, I think, where was I going with that? I was just happy that like Christina no longer has the high and mighty route to take, because now she's realizing, oh, my mom tried to commit me because I genuinely need to be committed because I tried to kill somebody. Like, yeah, no shit, Christina. Like, I'm surprised she didn't put that together in the first place. Like, could my mom possibly know what I did? Like, why didn't that even cross her mind at any point? Of course, like, Alexis is still going to bury the secret and just deal with Rick and Ava, and just so they can stay out of jail. But yeah, I'm just glad that we no longer have to see Christina be smug, because Alexis knows what she did. Ava and Rick know what she did, and now she knows that. So like, I ain't mad about that. I am not mad about that. Sorry, are you talking about the retcon with Brooklyn and Dante? Yeah, I'm not loving that either. I never loved it. Oh, I talked about the Carly and Nina fight last week, or like Monday, because I didn't do the live stream Sunday. So I was like, I'll just like talk about Monday's episode along with last week, so that we can just talk about the ball this week. But I mean, it was funny, it was entertaining. Nina won the fight, but like in the end, they're both losers, because it just made the situation worse. Not that any of it matters anymore, because Michael's back in town. So let's talk about Michael's return. Rory Gibson is the new Michael. We heard the role of Michael Corinthos is now being played by Rory Gibson, right when he entered the ballroom after the kids' performances. Yeah, I'm glad he was there. He clearly still can't stand to see Drew and Willow being all lovey-dovey in public, considering they're still married. It's all good, Jakarius. It's not normal for me to stream on a Monday. But I just I had other commitments on the Sunday, so I couldn't that night. But yeah, it's I'm glad that Michael is back in town so that the story can keep going. Obviously, I wish Chad Duell the best. Yeah, y'all know I wanted Drew Garrett to come back. I didn't expect him to, okay? It just would have been nice. But I don't really know much about Rory Gibson. And I, I'm hoping he does a good job. I obviously there's this big, crazy drama that he has to deal with, right off the bat. And so we're going to see his sort of dark Michael come out. Or maybe not. Like, I mean, in all fairness, what I need to happen is I need Michael to establish that he never got anyone to turn Willow away in Germany, just so that the wheels could start turning in her damn head. That freaking Drew maneuvered this. I hope that Michael already knows that Drew maneuvered this. I hope that he talked to that receptionist and asked about if Willow has ever stopped by, and she just told the truth, and that Drew made it so that she could never cross paths with him. Like, I need him to know that, because that'll be great. Angel said, I don't know how I feel about new Michael's looks. I don't know. I mean, he's neither here nor there for me. Like, I don't know. I just need Michael to be played a different way, I think is what it comes down to. Because I've just not ever enjoyed Chad's portrayal of the character. And if he can bring something different to the role and something that I can enjoy, then I'll be here for it. You guys know that I'm always fair with recasts. I give them a fighting chance before I sort of judge crucially. Because they all deserve a chance, At the end of the day, the actors themselves are choosing to leave whenever we get a recast. It's not like the writer's fault, per se. So I'm always rooting for the recast, but they don't always work out. So far, there's been a lot of good ones, but there have been duds in the past, too. Andrew said, I don't think he's cute. Neither is Chad Duell, though. So, like, I don't know. Something new. I don't need Michael to be hot, but, like, I just need him to be not, like, nerdy and, like, pompous and intimidating. I don't know. He just plays Michael so pompously, and Drew Garrett's wasn't pompous, and I'm hoping that Rory's won't be, but we'll see. There's not a whole lot we can really say about it yet. We've seen him, walk in and walk out with his kid and give Willow a dirty look, which rightfully so. And if you guys seen the preview of Michael and Wiley in the foyer, and then Willow and Drew trying to run out and chase after Michael and Jason stopping them, which will obviously Monday. And Drew, like, he seems like nervous about this because he knows this is probably not going to be good because, Drew was banking on Michael still being in recovery to let all this kind of sort of happen all at once. And it changes the whole game of the court date now. So, while Carly was going to fight for emergency custody, Michael is back in town. They can't say that Michael, abandoned his kids. He didn't really. He was in recovery, and now he's going to look bad. Drew and Willow are going to look bad for, like, making all these big decisions while Michael was away, including, like, making Drew the emergency, guardian of Michael's child, as if Michael wasn't going to come back. That's going to come out and be ugly during the court date. But of course, there is the lingering fact that he did cheat on Willow and got a girl pregnant. So, you know, everyone's made mistakes here. But Willow is just like, I don't know. She's just so blind. She's so blind to it. Oh, Tuesday. Okay. Glad I could have done this Monday. No, I couldn't have. I work tomorrow. But you know. Well, I guess you guys have your long weekend. This weekend. I had mine last weekend. It was Victoria Day in Canada this past Monday. But yeah. So, like I said, I mean, there's not much else to talk about. I was underwhelmed by the performances, but the drama was great. And the actors all did really incredible with the drama. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of the fallout next week, or this week, on Tuesday onwards. But yeah, Oh, Angel, you said if we played a game of Who Would You Rather, I would choose Chad over this new guy. I would say pass to both, but if I had to choose, I'd probably choose Rory, honestly. Yeah. Neither are my type, okay? But if I had to, if I was held at gunpoint and had to pick one, I would still be picking Rory over Chad. Sorry, Chad. But yeah. I don't really have much more to say on the show. Again, I'm looking forward to the new drama that's going to ensue this week. Oh, you're trying to finish up on your GED? Congrats, man. That's a valid reason for not watching GH. You haven't missed a whole lot. It's been mostly frustrating to watch. You know, but you know, you came back at a good time because like all the drama that has been dragging on for months is finally coming to head, and that's, you know, probably the most interesting part of it all. So, you know, thank your stars that you're doing your GED and missed out on all the boring nothingness that we've been sitting through. Also, I'm curious, how do you feel about Jocelyn being in the WSB now after killing Cyrus? Because that's still a thing. I'm surprised that Jocelyn had time to rehearse and be in the nurse's ball and go to the nurse's ball when she's supposed to be, you know, undercover and doing work for the WSB and not spending as much time with her family. Which reminds me, Jocelyn's the one that pulled Nina off of it, and you could tell, like, you know, Jocelyn knows some moves to pull people off, and that should have, like, made Carly scratch her head a little bit, but it didn't. I think she was just relieved that she got Nina off of her. Doesn't make sense that he's all healed up like this. I mean, who knows? We don't know the extent. I mean, even when Chad was still here, like, mostly Michael's face was fine, and it was his body that got severely burned. So, I don't know. He's wearing a suit. We don't know what the rest of him looks like. But yeah, we'll learn more. I don't think he's fully healed. I think that, you know, he's probably running on adrenaline. I don't know what prompted him to come back. Like, at first, when I knew Michael was likely going to appear at the ball, I was like, Jocelyn probably called him, but I don't think she did. So, like, how did he know to come back right then and there? Or maybe Diane gave him a heads up. I don't know, because, you know, at the end of the day, she's his client. Or he's her client, rather. But yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts on the nurse's ball. I don't have much more to say. So I guess we'll sort of end things here, guys. Jason called him. Oh, okay. I thought Jason just picked him up. Okay. I must have missed that. My bad. Alright, anyway though, thank you so much for watching the live stream. If you liked this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. We'll live stream Wednesday. I don't know if we're just going to hang out or if we are going to watch some classic clips. But I will see you on Wednesday. So until then, take care and enjoy the rest of your week. Mwah. Good night, y'all.